all-inclusive awakened awareness, that seems to be the theme today, huh? All-inclusive awakened awareness. It's a treasure chest, a treasury. And within that treasury, all its points of view are wish-fulfilling gems. So we, as self-knowing awareness, when we are awareness as a perception, as a point of view, the point of view is a wish-fulfilling gem in that it will be whatever we take it to be. We are the treasure trove. We are the basic space of all points of view. When we rest as that aware basic space, we see each wish-fulfilling gem not only as its appearance, but as awakened awareness, as that appearance. If we only see it as the appearance, that's the wish-fulfilling gem. That's the wish-fulfilling gem of the appearance only, the dictionary label or the dictionary description. When we rest, we know that the essence of every perception is awareness. It's all up to us, really. Sometimes we think, oh gosh, I really want someone to do it for me. But it is all up to us. It really is. The more we just rest as we are, the more the idea, the whole point of view of a personal identity, it just dissolves. It resolves in aware basic space. The I is synonymous with awareness, with all-inclusive awareness. I and all-inclusive awareness are synonymous. So if right now you take yourself to be an I, a real personal identity, an accumulation of points of view, just rest. And you don't have to get rid of the I, smash it, dissolve it, annihilate it, because the I is only a point of view. It's never been anything other than awareness. So when you just rest, naturally all of a sudden you might say one day, where is the I? Where's that I thought I was? Each one of us, we have the choice, the most important choice. Self-knowing awareness. That's all we are, self-knowing awareness. And the whole display of human life, that's its only purpose, for awareness to know itself. There's never been an individual I or chooser. If we're trying to fix some kind of a personal identity, then we have to build a construct of a personal identity. We say, oh, this is a personal identity, this is an ego, and this is a psychology, and it includes all of these other points of view. But these entities are not entities, they're just other points of view. If we say there is an ego or a personal identity, then the position we've taken is one of duality, that there is an identity or an ego, and over here's awareness. But all the while, just when the point of view of I comes up, it's awareness as I. When the point of view of ego comes up, it's awareness as the point of view of ego. But all the words and labels, no matter what they are a vast reality of equalness. A vast reality of equalness without differentiation or exclusion. The Great Freedom Teaching cuts through the solidity of all points of view. The Great Freedom Teaching begins with the starting point that we all already are, awareness, in which any kind of fixed identity has never occurred. It's just awareness inclusive of all points of view, no matter what it is. Self-knowing awareness, that's all a human being is. Every other thing we've learned about ourselves is a belief system or assumption that is secondhand knowledge. It's something we've adopted from someone else. Someone told us that we are an ego or a psychology or a brain and a neurological system and a physiology, and that our biological functioning is really what we are, and that biological functioning is born and then it dies, and that's the sum total of it. And all of these things, though, are adopted from other people. When we just rest as our awareness, we know ourselves as we really are. We really know ourselves as we are. And then more and more we see that all these notions we may have had are simply points of view that we adopted and took ourselves to be those things, when all the while all we are is awareness with all points of view included. When we rest naturally as awareness, we have complete knowing of the totality. In other words, we, as awareness, are the complete knowing of the totality of all points of view without anything excluded, including a personal identity. But if we only take ourselves to be a personal identity, we'll be completely lost in that. When we rest as awareness, we realize we are the complete enjoyment body of all-inclusive awakened awareness. And then we completely understand the purpose of our own existence and the absolute adventure that it is to live a human life. Just like with any vivid appearance, look at us. We're all here. We're all here. We're all vivid appearances of awareness. We're vivid appearances of awareness as ourselves. So when we just rest naturally as that, as the essence of that, or the ground of being, which is awakened awareness, then we completely relax all of our ideas about who we've taken ourselves to be. We know ourselves as all-inclusive awakened awareness rather than as only a personal identity. So it's as simple as that. We include ourselves, but often the assumption is that awareness is dependent on the body. But actually, the body is dependent on awareness. So you see, that's the distinction. When we rest naturally, we learn something quite wondrous, and that is that the perception of being someone, the point of view of being someone, hardly ever occurs to us. It's much more obvious. Awareness is much more obvious than that incidental perception we have of being somebody. Very seldom does it ever occur to us, hey, I am somebody. Hey, I am somebody. I'm Bob, or I'm Kabira. Awareness is primary. Awareness is primary. Awareness is primary in every perception. Without awareness, none of the perceptions would be. Not a single one. No point of view would be without awareness. Point of view is very tiring if that's all we think is real. It's very tiring and it's aging. It's very aging. We need lots of sleep at night and lots of distractions. But when we realize that all the points of view are awareness, it's tremendously energizing. We find that we have immense power and force, that we have a potency in us that is beyond anything that can ever be known when we're wrapped up in all our points of view. Well, it doesn't fit in anywhere. It just is as it is. See, if a notion of enlightenment excludes a personal identity, then it's an extreme. Yeah, it's an extreme point of view. But awareness includes everything. It includes everything. The treasure of us and the treasure of our life as a human being is that we're the only being that has this, by the way. We have self-knowing awareness. No other being has that. So the great adventure of the life of every human being is to realize that we are that that each of us is that each of us is that self-knowing awareness. And when we realize that we really are that self-knowing awareness that is entirely indivisible, our own identity takes on a richness. It's a richness because if we only take ourselves to be a point of view, we're a finite personal identity. And our personal identity is the accumulation of all our points of view. In other words, everything we've ever thought, every emotional state we've ever had, every action we've ever undertaken. And so we can call this an accumulation of points of view or an accumulation of memories. What a living hell, to take ourselves to be that. And then we're constantly trying to sort it out and make it have it make sense. Oh, I've got to get better emotional states or better thoughts or better actions. So all of our life is spent in doing within this little clot of personal identity. But when we begin to see that, well, our real identity is all-inclusive awakened awareness, and we rest as that, then more and more we see that all these things we've taken ourselves to be, they're all awareness, that all we've ever been is awareness. And with that, there's a tremendous freedom as all-inclusive awakened awareness that includes our personal identity. As we relax, we find much greater ease in all our interactions in life, no matter where they are, whether it's making love, eating food, working, romancing, having relationships. No matter where it is in life, we find a growing ease. And we find that all these things, whether we've perceived them to be inward or outward, that no matter how far we look into them, there's nothing but vast space. So you see, it's wondrous. It's wondrous that we can say, oh, what was there suddenly isn't there anymore. And, so it's, we can't say that it's really either impersonal or personal. There's really nothing we can say about it. All I can say is that it's complete enjoyment. It's complete enjoyment and this immense emanation of benefit. So, I can't imagine, I can't even cook up a point of view about what it would be like to live the way I once lived, where my whole life was focused on my success and the benefit of my family and, just this very close little idea of what was going on. And I was also very involved in community volunteer work, but it was so much doing, trying to develop and cultivate something that's already inherent. My husband, who I thought was a mixed bag of elements, of some things I liked, other things I didn't like, some things I was ongoingly resentful about. Well, I didn't need to take him to be an accumulation of points of view. Once I no longer saw myself as an accumulation of points of view, I didn't see him or anyone else that way either. So it's very practical. And it doesn't exclude the things we enjoy in life, like baking desserts or whatever it is.